In the back, can you hear me? Right. Dad of 14 kids, so I know how to project my voice in a polite way. As mentioned, as an executive director for the Applied Science Center, it's a fairly new 90,000 square foot facility, a bunch of engineering firms, academic institutions. But what's unique is that on the first floor, we call our operations floor, we have federal, state, local agencies. We have the county's emergency operations center. We have FBI, Secret Service. We have ATF, the local police, local fire. And what the intent is our mission statement is on business development, our research, what's being made, what's being done, and how to educate not just the agencies, but also the public and businesses, and all around public safety. About a year or so ago, a fellow by Paul Callahan, former Marine captain, came to our facility through other technology firms and talked about SRI. And how can you resist a Marine, coming from Marine, Navy, Army, and Air Force family, with all my kids. And he brought us out to the West Coast, showed us all the phenomenal things that are going on at SRI, and eventually met with John Shockley and a few other folks to talk about NTER. And I looked at this as an educator, a former professor at Delta University in NYU. I looked at this, I said, this is an ideal platform on teaching fire, police, EMS, nurses, former nurse here, way back when, on looking at things and how to improve it. The educational platform, I thought, and I can see it, is, to me, a very useful tool. When you look at this little hump in the ceiling here, it might get a little wacky on you, but the old bowling alleys, the old big bowling alleys, the hump in the roof, okay. People would say, okay, it's a bowling alley, maybe a movie theater. That hump killed 12 firemen back in 1978 with my first fires. It was a fireman in Brooklyn. And that hump is a truss ceiling, it's a truss roof. And we just thought, okay, it's a hump in the building. But now, because of that fire and other mistakes we've made and errors, we include that into our new training facilities. That, along with many other different attributes of a building, can really educate firemen. Besides looking at books that were written by renowned authors, Vinnie Dunn and so on the NFPA codes, and 1,000, we can incorporate that into our 3D animations through the NTER. What to look for, how to force a door, how to look at various different elevators, the various different building codes. The building codes for high-rise buildings, believe it or not, goes from heavy buildings to lightweight buildings. If you're built before 1940, you're a heavy Empire State Building. Between 1940 and 1960, you're medium weight. The World Trade Center is a lightweight building, believe it or not, when it fell down. And you look at these attributes, how do I teach my fire, my police, my EMS personnel what to look for when you're inspecting buildings? As part of a task force team at a NIOSH and at the NY, I was a former executive officer for the Safety Battalion and the Research and Development Program at the NY. My function was to organize people to research on how firemen were getting killed, how they were getting hurt, getting caught in building collapses, getting trapped in fires, falling off buildings in the middle of the night or a bad storm. How do we prevent these particular events from killing roughly about 115 firefighters nationwide every year? So we, in our facility, we have a heavy stake on this. So what we're doing now is that we're introducing the academies of the fire academies in Suffolk, Nassau, and New York City, predominantly Nassau, into this program. And we're going to incorporate that at the Fire Academy in Nassau. We're going to be making these programs to, one, look at a facility, to look for illegal alterations, exits, staircases, are they adequate or not, are the elevators okay, how do we operate an elevator during the fire scene, firemen can operate an elevator, not you, take the stairs. How do we educate the public in fire safety? And you go into also, we have a lot of nursing facilities, nursing hospitals that we're going to be working with as well as at Delphi, Malloy, Stony Brook University. We take these other attributes into the human services space on how to deal with people with special needs. Now, as a young fireman at Bed-Stuy, you know, people are familiar with Brooklyn, but going to the Brooklyn tenement area, we had some kid on the roof doing this, okay? And it was pointing down here. And the kids, the fireman on the truck had, what's this kid doing on the roof? I go, it's fire, here. So if I'm looking at my colleague here to American Sign Language, by just teaching, not American Sign Language as a whole, but how to teach nurses, firemen, cops on basic American Sign Language, if they speak English. If they speak Italian, it's a whole different thing. But it does, hey. Or Brooklynese. But if you look at these attributes, you're looking at the mechanics of a fire, the hazards of fires, and also the human services of this. So we feel like the NTER is a really great tool for us. We just started about a month ago. We brought in 20 different fire and police academic academy instructors, and we think we're going to go a long way with this. So, thank you.